think Mike Clevenger said that after watching Gore last night, he is now in favor of a 7-man rotation. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, the extra rest probably helped everybody, but yeah, Mackenzie looked really good last night. To see where he was last year, like physically and mentally, and then to see how he comes back in spring training, you could tell he put the work in. And I've said it before, but I think the lockout might have been a blessing in disguise for him, a chance to kind of remove all the noise and all the voices in his head and just kind of get back to what made him who he is. And whatever he did this offseason to get himself right mentally and physically, it's showing now.
I know in San Diego, Padres fans have heard about Mackenzie Gore since he was drafted number 3 overall. But for you guys, for this pitching staff, for you, what was it like to watch him do what he did last night in Packed House Petco Park?
Yeah, it was exciting. You see him compete this spring in the spring training atmosphere, and obviously that's not the same scenario as when you're in Petco Park. 40-something thousand people and everyone's on their feet screaming. But just reminding them that it's the same game, it's the same thing you did in spring training. Just the surroundings around you are going to be a little bit different, and see him come out and handle himself as well as he did, emotionally, and his presence on the mound. I think that's the most impressive for a kid that's making his debut. And I didn't get to come through the minor leagues with Mackenzie. I came over here kind of already knowing him as the number 1 prospect, and so to get to see it in real time and see it on the big league stage is exciting.
He seems like it's super low heart rate. Is that what he's like all the time?
Yeah, like I said, for his, that's what I told him last night. I was like, man, I don't know how you felt out there, but you looked like you were right at home. Like you've been doing it for a long time, and that's a big part of it, is just making sure you're not showing the other team emotion, whether it's good or bad. Just kind of be that even keel and understand that a big out in the first is not the end of the game. It's it's just one step of the way. So he did a really good job of composing himself last night.
Year for you going into your second year here with the Padres, Petco Park, man. Is it come back down to earth for you? What's this experience been like coming out here every single day?
Yeah, starting to get a little more used to it. It felt like a debut every time I was coming out here last year. So I'm getting used to performing in front of the home crowd and all my friends and family and stuff. And I've said it before, and it's kind of still true to this day that the fear of failing here is kind of what's been my biggest motivator. And I got a lot of support, and sometimes that support gets a little bit overwhelming. You feel a little bit suffocated. So still trying to separate the baseball part of it from the enjoyment and the excitement of playing in my hometown.
Can I ask you, what does that mean when you say that the fear of failing here in San Diego? Like, why is that significant for you?
It's not much different than being anywhere else, other than the faces that are in the crowd, and you hear all the people chanting your name, and people dropping Grossmont High School and the little leagues I played with, just people I haven't seen or heard from in a long time, and it makes it feel a little bit more. But I've been getting used to that now, and starting to channel that in a positive way.
Okay, last thing, any shout outs? Do we any Resident Beer Cafe Deso? Any shout outs you want to go ahead and do for the
Resident Beer Company? They're always taking care of me. I went there after my first home start the other night. Borden Brew's always taking care of me with sandwiches. Cafe Deso is always keeping us fueled with coffee. So it's a good group here. And Obi Noodle House, my boys down at OB.
What's the go-to? Obi Noodle House.
Obi Noodle. I usually get the sizzling fish, little side of rice and veggies, and the wings. Some of the best wings. Them and Dirty Birds are up there for best wings in San Diego for me.